I like turtles. Hey, we're talking turtles. Billington Sea is home to at least 4 types of turtles, and we're about to get to know them through pictures, video clips, and stories. Make sure you stay to the end so you can see a giant, who is possibly, truly, a Billington Sea Monster. The turtle you're most likely to see in Billington Sea is the painted turtle. And you might come across this turtle on land in the general vicinity as well, because they do spend some time on land. Now, these turtles love to bask in the sun. This is their favorite thing. And the perfect environment to a painted turtle would be a very low-hanging tree branch over the water, or a fallen tree trunk that's fallen into the water. Any place where they can soak up some sun. So they don't get too big. They get to about 8 inches in length, their shells, and they live to be about 55 years. Something interesting I just read about them is that when they hibernate, they will burrow down into the mud of shallow water, and then they do not need to breathe. They can survive for long periods of time without any oxygen at all, and that's pretty amazing to me. I sometimes find it hard to tell the difference between the painted turtle and the northern red-bellied cooter. The northern red-bellied cooter gets a lot bigger than the painted turtle, but when they're young, they appear to be the same size. So one way to tell the difference is the painted turtle will have 2 yellow spots directly behind its eyes. The star of Billington Sea is the northern red-bellied cooter, and I know that's kind of a funny name. But the reason I say it's the star of the sea is because it is also sometimes known as the Plymouth red-bellied cooter, and is only found in Plymouth County in Massachusetts. It's a larger sized turtle, and its shell can grow as much as 15.5 inches. The females are the ones that are larger in size, and the males are smaller. Females also are the ones with the bright red underbelly, whereas the males kind of have a pinkish underbelly. The turtles can live to be about 40 to 55 years old. Now, this turtle is on the federally endangered list, so it is illegal to kill, possess them, capture them, or harass them. When I was recording the clips for this video, I had it on Zoom, and they were also recorded over the entire course of the summer. You don't want to bother the turtles. Usually they'll swim right off the second you get near them, but if you're quiet and still, you can float up to them to get a picture. Just don't harass them, because that is illegal, and it's also not very nice.
There's a log sticking up out of the water a bit in front of us. I can tell there's turtles on it, but I don't know if it's cooters.
Musk turtles are probably the shyest of all the Billington Sea turtles, and they're also probably the smallest. They are only about 3 to 5.5 inches in length, and they live about 20 to 50 years. Now, if you want to see a musk turtle, your best bet is to go to a place where there's a lot of dead leaves in the water, because musk turtles love mucky locations. Anywhere where there's piles of leaves, sticks, weeds, that's where you're likely to find them. But as I said, they're very shy, and the second they notice you, they're going to scoot under whatever is near them. So in the video, I pick up a musk turtle to look at its belly and to see if it's injured. This was because I don't remember the last time I've seen a musk turtle on land. And it turns out it's very rare for them to actually leave the water. They pretty much only do this to lay their eggs. So kids, don't try this at home, because I didn't realize it, but they will bite in self-defense. Their necks, like the snapping turtle, are actually very long and can reach as far back as their hind legs. So our friend must not have felt very threatened by me, because she didn't try to bite me. And the thing about musk turtles is they have another name, the stink pot, because they are known to emit an odor when they feel threatened. And there was no odor. She didn't emit any kind of odor. So I don't think she was that disturbed by me, but it's probably best to just let them go on their way. But these turtles you may find crossing the street to lay their eggs. So if you decide to help them to cross the street, just keep this in mind. But they are known to be run over by cars, unfortunately, because they do cross the street.
He wasn't here a minute ago. I was emptying water out of the kayak because it rained last night. So I tipped it over and I just came back to flip it up the right way. And there's a turtle here. A turtle from Billington Sea. I think he's a musk turtle.
Turtle that I came across while kayaking. And the funny story is I thought it was a rubber bouncy ball in the water because they appear to be pretty round, and their shells are very domed. So and it was a shallow area, and I stuck my hand in the water to pick up this bouncy ball that didn't belong there, and it swam out of my fingers. My fingers just barely touched it, and that log that you can see in the picture, the turtle actually, it was a hollow log. The turtle actually first swam into the log, and then when I came back by again in the kayak, he was sitting outside of the log, so I was able to get a picture of him. But that just goes to show you a lot of times things under the water aren't exactly what they appear to be, so be careful when you stick your hands in the water. One day over the summer, I decided to go looking for turtles in probably the most obvious spot, Turtle Cove. Now, you might not even know this cove exists because it's sort of hidden. If you were out in the middle of the pond and looking over in its direction, it kind of just blends right in. So it's a really cool little spot, and I've circled it in green on the map. I really recommend checking it out if you're visiting to kayak or canoe. The turtles love it there because the water is very, very shallow, and there's a lot of places for them to bask in the sun, and it is one of the sunniest spots on the pond, and the water is usually calm there, and it's just a beautiful little spot.
And the whole cove is about this depth, and it's just a little area. But there's usually turtles here. Beautiful sandy bottom. There weren't any turtles in Turtle Cove, but I am heading over to another turtle hotspot now. See what we can find. Musk turtle. The musk turtle went into those bushes right over there when he saw me. And then I had to turn around to go back the way I wanted to go again. And by the time I got back here again, he was heading out, but he saw me, so he headed back into the bushes. It's kind of cute. But I couldn't get the camera up in time to show you, unfortunately.
The common snapping turtle is probably the most impressive of the Billington Sea turtle family. These guys can get enormous, and from my experience, the pond is home to many giants. They can live to be over 100 years old, and the fellow you're about to see in the video is probably around that. Most are usually about a foot in length, but some can get to their shells can get to about 18.5 inches. The one in the video, I would estimate to be about 3 feet from the tip of its tail to its head. If a snapper is threatened, it will bite, but I've never known anyone to get bitten, so I wouldn't worry about swimming. Just leave them alone, and they'll leave you alone. So the one in the video took me by complete surprise, and this is yet another lesson of being aware of what is around you when you stick your hands in the water. I was looking for bottles. I was very close to the shore. I wasn't more than a foot or two from the shore. I stuck my hand down into the water to pull out a bottle, and all of a sudden this creature came zipping out of I don't know where under the water, right towards my hand, which I immediately removed from the water, and it was the most enormous snapping turtle I have seen. One of the most enormous snapping turtles I have ever seen. And he went right under the kayak, and he was sitting under the kayak, and he didn't seem like he was gonna attack me. I think maybe he thought my hand was a fish, or he was just curious, and he let me get a little video of him in a picture, which was really nice, and then I went on my way. I didn't want to disturb him. Now, I believe I've seen him or her in the area The males do get larger than the females, so I tend to think this was a male. But it could have been a female and her eggs were nearby on the land. I'm not really sure. So like the musk turtle, the snapping turtles have really long necks that can reach all the way to the back of their body. So you want to be very careful if you're going to touch a snapping turtle for some reason. And you also never want to pick them up by the tail because this can seriously injure them. So this clip is from 2015, and what is going on here is I see a turtle. Now, it's actually the head of a turtle, but because of the size, I thought that it was the turtle's shell, and I was trying to get closer to see why this turtle shell was bobbing up and down in the water. And this is where I'm freaked out because I see the size.
That is a huge.
I'd have to say it was probably about the size of the turtle in the other clip, but maybe possibly slightly bigger. Here's a nice picture of some eggs for you to look at while I tell you the mystery of the eggs. Now, for the past 2 summers, I have found in a particular location eggs under the water. Now, the first time I found them was right after a storm, and I thought maybe they were birds' eggs that had fallen from the trees. But this past summer, I found them again, and there hadn't been a storm. And there were many more. There were probably about 20 eggs in the water. And to me, they looked like painted turtle or musk turtle eggs. But painted turtles and musk turtles do not lay their eggs in water, and in fact, none of the Billington Sea turtles lay their eggs in water. So I don't know how these eggs got into the water, or if they're even turtle eggs. Maybe they washed from the side of the land into the water. I did read an article, though, that if there was a certain type of turtle, and I can't remember and I can't find the article again, a certain type of turtle that if it is producing too many eggs or they're not going to be viable, we'll just release them into the water. So that might be the answer, but if you know the answer, please let me know, because I am very curious about these eggs I keep finding in the water.
Pretty convinced those are turtle eggs, because there's just so many of them. There's tons of them.
So that was a nice look back at the turtles of 2020. Those maps that I showed, just so you know, those are the locations I personally feel like I have the most luck spotting those particular turtles. That's not to say those are the only locations. So if you ever come kayaking or canoeing, just keep your eyes open. Alright, that's all I have to say about turtles for now. Maybe we'll visit the turtles of 2021. We'll have to see. Thanks for watching. See you next time.